Talk, Besha, they would call it our money pesa, right here on Money Talk, where we get to understand the intrigues or the matters, just the papers. I call them the papers because that's the most common name so far. You mentioned the papers and everyone is like, yeah, you do not run any business when it's not giving you anything that you can pride in terms of money. Otherwise, it's pointless for you to invest so much and I do not even have the hopes that maybe in future this is going to be something that is worth the hassle. So it will be very important for you to take us through your journey, the startup journey, because every other time you're talking about business, you could be having the idea, but what about the finances? What about the capital? So what was the range of capital that you sort of used to see this, up and running 101%?
So I'll start with 2014. Back in 2014, I did not have a business plan. I just had a product and that I was excited about, and I just tried to jump into the market, which was a bad idea. So when I was starting, I didn't have an idea of how much I needed to get from point A to Z. I didn't even know how far I wanted to get. I just knew I liked products, I was a creative, and I wanted to sell. So later is when I joined Strathmore Business School, and I learned a lot about planning before starting a business, the importance. It was not too late for me, because now what I learned, I applied after rebranding. So for my kind of business, I can't really give you a figure to start with, because I'm still trying to scale as it is, and I'm getting to different stages. I'm moving from stage to stage and sorting that out. So you find that there's a lot to be done. For example, you have to pay for all your certificates, permits and all that, setting up shop. So it depends really on what you want to do. Your packaging, that can vary. It can cost anything between $10,000 and more.
Going up.
Yeah, so it depends really on the kind of business you want, how big you want it.
Right. When you put so much money on this and you still believe in this brand, then it means that maybe you've seen a ray of hope in it, and you suddenly know that this is going to give you returns at some point in time. So at what point, I know you're still moving, you're still going on and continuing to push your products and getting other new products in the market. So at what point did you sort of say, finally I have enjoyed at least some proceeds or some profit from what I am doing from this product? At what point? And how did it feel?
Took a lot of patience. I didn't even notice I'd gone for 3 years. Without really enjoying my business, my returns. But for me, the time spent was more valuable than the amount injected. I injected money in bits.
Right.
I'm still doing it. So it took a while. So what I'd say for anyone who wants to get into this business or any other business is to have some sort of patience.
Patience is key.
Patience is key. And don't look at it in terms of money. The time spent more valuable. The time you put into it, the effort, I find that more valuable than any amount I've put into it. The effort is what will pay.
Okay. So of course when you talk about having a plan, you suddenly have the end goal and what you want to achieve. So in between, what happens is not really a matter, but basically what will be the end game. What would be your advice in the event that someone looks to start a business? Do you advocate for them to sought financial institutions for help, or better yet, that aspect where you say you've gone to a point of just expounding your education for the sake of this? Would you advise them also to take that route?
First of all, I'd advise them to have a business plan.
Yes.
That business plan will guide them to knowing how much they require for whatever project it is. From there, they can decide if they have a bit of savings, they can start with that. Always start with what you have. If not, see if there's a family member who buys into your dream. Try work with them. Get some money from them. If you don't have some of your own, work with that. If you really must, then try a bank or financial institution, but be very prepared to forever have a ball and chain on your ankle. So Yeah, it depends on what you're comfortable with, but it's always advisable. Start from home. Work with someone you know, someone who believes in your dream. Then as you scale, you can be bold enough to approach a financial institution. Never a shark loan.
Never a shark loan? Why?
I've had stories.
You've had an experience or stories of other people, yeah?
Thank God I've not had an experience, but I've had stories.
One special financial lesson, apart from the ones that we've mentioned, that you probably picked through your journey and you want to share it out to the people?
You must have a tax agent, because a tax agent or accountant, because you can buy raw materials for 2 shillings, then you sell them for 7 shillings, and you think you've made money, but you've not calculated a lot of things in between. Your overheads that are constantly standard, your movement, how long it takes to turn around that 2 shillings. So you must have someone who takes care of the financial aspect for you. They don't have to cost a lot of money, and they don't have to be in-house. There are very many places you can outsource, but that will be your downfall. You not having a grip on your financials is your downfall more than anything. You have the best idea, the best packaging. If you don't sort that out, you're doomed. You're short-lived in the market.
Wow, need I say more? I think that is the biggest lesson that we picked today.